This behind me is Scattergood. It's one of LA's remaining coastal gas-fired power plants. It burns methane to turn it into electricity. And it is already outdated technology. On top of that, this facility is roughly 70 years old, built in 1958. Coastal plants like this are so problematic that in the state of California, they're now required to either close or spend hundreds of millions of dollars to retrofit. The thing is, here in Los Angeles, we've already committed to 100% renewable energy transition. So why would we spend hundreds of millions of dollars on fossil fuels when we can spend it on better, cleaner, and safer energy investments? For a moment there, LA City leadership agreed with us. They set Scattergood to be phased out and decommissioned. But as you can imagine, fossil fuel companies like SoCalGas didn't like that. They did what they always do, push false solutions and greenwashing, just like they did when they said methane was a natural gas and that it was a bridge fuel. And now they're up to their next scam, which is spending $800 million converting this facility to burning green hydrogen. So what is green hydrogen? Well, hydrogen isn't just lying around. We actually have to make it. And it takes exorbitant amount of money, energy, and water to produce it. When they say green hydrogen, what they mean is they're going to try to use renewable energy to produce that hydrogen instead of fossil fuels. They want to use hydrogen as a way to store energy instead of a battery. There's some big problems with this. The technology to burn 100% hydrogen at this scale doesn't exist yet, which means we'd actually be burning a blend of 70% methane and 30% hydrogen. This project also diverts much needed funds and renewable energies from truly transitioning to clean solutions. They plan to use Scattergood as a peaker plant, meaning that it would theoretically only be used when energy usage is extremely high, only about 1 to 2% of the time for a price tag of over $800 million. In addition, there hasn't been any strong commitments to only use green hydrogen, which means it leaves the door open to use fossil fuel created hydrogen at this facility in the future. So why would SoCalGas want to push hydrogen? Well, the answer is actually really simple. They want to keep gas infrastructure in place, and they want to keep our money invested in gas. This is Paul Kretz, a former council member, speaking about his firsthand experience.
But the fact remains that SoCalGas lobbyists looked me in the eye and told me they intended to use hydrogen to keep the methane flowing for as long as possible.
There are so many reasons that this green hydrogen scam is a bad idea. One, it produces 3 to 5 times the NOx pollution emissions of methane, which in addition to the health risks, is also going to cause higher NOx fees that we have to pay. Also, hydrogen is more explosive than methane. It also has an invisible flame, and it has a higher leak rate. After the January fires, the last thing that Los Angeles needs is a more volatile fuel. LADWP, our public utility, approved an incomplete and controversial environmental impact report on converting this facility. There are significant gaps in this environmental review, including the failure to analyze cumulative pollution, the project's water demand, realistic supply of hydrogen, and real clean alternatives like grid-scale battery storage, distributed solar, demand response, and virtual power plants. Here's some things that City Council members said the last time LA City Council got to weigh in on this topic.
First, on the process side, we're being asked to greenlight DWP moving ahead with a solicitation for a nearly $1 billion project without the benefit of knowing the environmental impacts of that project, nor having an analysis of alternatives to the project, and without a robust community engagement process for those affected by the project. And on the substance side, We don't even know if this project is technically feasible, especially in the time frame that's been proposed.
The proposed conversion of Scattergood into a green hydrogen plant isn't just a theoretical exercise or a simulation study. It is a project with real potential impacts for the communities that I represent and for the thousands of residents who live in its shadow.
Years later, their questions have not really been answered. And the last time the city council got to weigh in on this, it was estimated to cost over $800 million. And that price did not include the production of hydrogen, the delivery system, the recent loss of federal funding for green hydrogen projects, or the recent rise in gas turbine costs. That rise in gas turbine costs alone could equate for the price tag to go up 2 to 3 times and for the project to be delayed 6 to 8 years. This all means that an already expensive project, estimated to cost at least $800 million, is going to balloon into the billions, billed to us, just to lock us in to burning 70% methane for the foreseeable future under the smokescreen of green hydrogen. This isn't just greenwashing, this is hydrogen washing methane. So what can we do? Well, several awesome organizations have filed an appeal with the City Council regarding this project's EIR approval. This is their opportunity, the Council's opportunity to have another say on this project and to get their questions answered. But they still have to put it on the agenda. We need your help, and it's really simple. With one click, and you can send an email to Tracy Park, who is the council member who represents the district that Scattergood's in, and members of the Energy and Environment Committee. And this email will ask them to put the appeal on the agenda so that they can vote on it. Let's give them another opportunity to represent us, their constituents.